Hey you guys, it's your girl T. So I want to go ahead and shout out Devin Brown and several people who've been wanting to know my opinion about the whole Amber Rose situation with her new emojis that came out this past Friday. And her emojis have already surpassed Kim Kardashian. And if I was Kim Kardashian, I would be so annoyed by this chick. A lot of folks use the mantra that imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. But to me, I think it's bullshit. Imitation is annoying and it just means that you don't have an original thought in your head, okay? I can't stand folks who are constantly copying what other people are doing. I swear this woman is obsessed with Kim Kardashian. So anyways, her emojis came out. Obviously, a lot of people were down to run out and go buy them because she made like $2 million at the Apple App Store. So kudos to her for getting her check, okay?
Kudos to you, bitch.
So once her emojis went viral, a lot of black folks were kind of upset. Like, okay, why do you have Bill Cosby as your emoji? And he's holding up a sign saying, yeah, I did it. So, a few black dudes had emailed me talking about, what do you think about this? And my response initially was like, why are y'all asking me? Y'all the one who put this woman on a pedestal. You know what I'm saying? Y'all the one who act like this woman is a black woman. And if you're not built like her and if you don't carry yourself like her, you're not a bad bitch. Kanye, who's a black man, brought this woman out to the forefront. Like I've always said before, if Amber Rose was a dark-skinned, bald-headed chick from Philly, nobody would give two fucks about this woman, okay? And she basically came up using Kanye West and, her hip-hop connections to getting good with black folks. But when it comes down to black issues, like I said before, she's silent. But when it comes to anything affecting, feminism and women, she's very, very vocal. So I'm just not a fan of hers. People ask me that all the time. I don't have to be a fan of anybody in particular. I'm not a fan of hers because to me, she always comes out as hypocritical. Initially I liked her. I liked her when she was just silent, when she was just that model, Amber Rose. She was just that beautiful bald woman who didn't really say too much. I was kind of feeling her. But ever since the whole slut walk bullshit, her contradictions, her going at the Kardashians and then trying to play victim, I'm just over this chick. So now what's going on with Amber Rose is she's causing controversy once again. She caught her ass going on to Keshia Knight-Pulliam's podcast and basically trying to put Bill Cosby on blast. When I tell you Keshia Knight-Pulliam stopped her ass dead in her tracks, yes she did. Go ahead and listen to this audio and I'm going to come back with the rest of my commentary.
So I really just feel like anything a man can do, we can do. And sometimes, I get very frustrated when when I see guys call girls hoes. Or, when people, just stick up for Bill Cosby, 52 women are just
Let me just say this real quick, because, I feel you, and everyone's entitled to their opinion. But,
yeah.
We still live in a country where you're innocent until proven guilty. And I understand everything that's happened. And me being a feminist and believing, women, no means no, and I get that. But just so you know, I did work with him for a really long time. I love him dearly still. And that isn't the man that I know. That's, and another thing is
I totally get it. I totally get it. 100%. And we're going to have our own opinions about that. We don't even have to get into that. That's fine. My whole thing is I feel like celebrity and classism and double standards all take a part in, in society and how we treat people. So, and it's not really just feminism. It's really just all of the above.
So I have a quick question for you. How did you come up with your slut walk?
All right, so you guys just heard that podcast. First of all, like I always say, Amber Rose is a hypocrite. Now she's mad at men and she's saying she doesn't like when men call women hoes. But this is the same woman who took to Twitter to go in on Kim Kardashian and her sisters and call them all types of whores. So let me get this straight, Amber. It's okay for you to call women whores and for you to call women hoes, but when men do it, it's an issue. You're full of shit, boo, okay? What it is you don't like when people call you a whore. You don't like when people call you a hoe. Yet and still you have no problem using those same words towards another woman, okay? Another thing that irritates me about this girl is that she's obviously an attention whore. Since this whole Bill Cosby controversy came out, Keshia Knight-Pulliam has not talked about it to anyone. People have been asking her, wanting to know her opinion. She has kept her mouth shut this whole time. Amber decides to be messy and bring up Bill Cosby's name during her podcast, trying to basically put Keshia in the hot seat. And Keshia Knight-Pulliam checked her ass so bad that she lost her damn train of thought. When she got the pausing and stuttering, I thought there was something wrong with the audio, but no, that was Amber Rose thinking of what she should say next. It's obvious that she's not that quick-witted because all she did was just stumble and, well, yeah, I understand. Well, but classism and men and, this woman is just full of shit. But I understand she has millions of people who worship and idolize her. And I know her rosebuds will come on here to call me a hater and tell me I'm jealous and I'm black as hell. And yes, I'm jealous. Thank you. Because jealousy negates this woman's hypocrisy, okay? Another thing that bothers me with this, right, is when I look at her emojis, can somebody explain to me why on top of her having a black man, Bill Cosby, holding a sign saying that he did it, she also has another emoji that says Bill Cosby, so going in on him once again, but she also has a noose. Can somebody explain to me what the noose is for? Is that to tell people to kill themselves? Is that a reference to slavery? Why does there need to be a noose as part of her emojis? I'm just not feeling that. And another thing is why she's so quick to make Bill Cosby, a black man, as one of her guilty emojis. But what about Stephen Collins? The man from Seventh Heaven who admitted on tape to molesting 2 children. This man is not facing no criminal charges. Seventh Heaven is back on television. Why did she not use his picture and say, yup, I did it? Bill Cosby has not even been found guilty yet, and yet and still you make an emoji saying that he's guilty and saying that he did something that you don't necessarily have any proof of. And like Keshia said, at the end of the day, this is America, and you're supposed to be seen as not guilty until you have your day in court. And I think for Amber Rose to put out this emoji basically trying to clown Bill Cosby is very irresponsible. And I'm not taking up for Bill. I'm not saying that this man is innocent. I already made videos on the whole Cosby situation. What I am saying is that I see through the bullshit, and Amber Rose had no business bringing up this man's name on Keshia's show, trying to get basically more attention on herself, because now it's all over the blogs. Now the mainstream media is starting to get word of this because, like I said, up until this point, Keshia hadn't said anything about Bill Cosby.
I've been asked multiple times about Bill Cosby since the allegations came out and since more and more women are coming out. And you always say, that's not the man I knew.
It's not. It's just not.
And
the mainstream media has been waiting for her to. So now if Amber Rose can be attached to that once the mainstream picks it up, now that's more attention for her. That's more sales for her. So she's not slick. She knew what she was doing. She put Bill Cosby in there. And she knew what she was doing. She went on to Keshia's show. And I'm glad that Keshia shut her down and then proceeded to ask her, tell me more about your slut walk. How did you come up with that? Because that's the only thing that Amber Rose is known for. That's the only thing that she's really done is come up with this bullshit ass slut walk. I mean, it's just crazy. And I just find it funny how so many black folks really be going out their way to co-sign this woman. I've been attacked by more black women going out their way to defend Amber Rose, and Amber Rose don't give 2 shits about y'all. She's basically using your hip-hop culture to get a check, and I'm not mad at her. You know what I'm saying? Get your money, date the rappers, you know what I'm saying? Do you, and keep on using hip-hop culture to get your money. Use the hip-hop culture to come up and then keep eating off the hip-hop culture. I'm not mad at her because, again, it's black folks who put her on this pedestal. It's some black women who go to bat for her, you know what I'm saying, when she's not even a black woman.
I do not consider myself a black woman. Absolutely not. I do not consider myself a black woman. Absolutely not. I do not consider myself a black woman.
So at the end of the day, Amber's doing what Amber does best. Amber Rose is getting her money and she does not care who that affects. But I'm glad that Keshia Knight shut her down. That entire interview was just rude, and that was very out of pocket for her to even bring up Bill Cosby's name. She knew what she was doing, being messy as hell, and Keshia didn't fall for the trap. She didn't make excuses for Bill Cosby, but she was not going to allow Amber Rose to throw Bill Cosby under the bus. So anyways, let's go ahead and get the discussion popping. Go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on this entire situation, honey. Once again, concerning Amber Rose and Keshia Knight-Pulliam. How do you feel about Amber Rose's new emojis? Did you buy them? Do you like them? You know, I've heard a lot of mixed reviews on them, but for the most part, it seems like a lot of people do like them. And then how do you feel about her using Bill Cosby as an emoji and having him hold up a sign saying, yup, I'm guilty? And then also, how do you feel about that noose being part of her emojis as well? So let's go ahead and get the discussion popping. Go ahead and leave a comment. All right, deuces. Hey, you guys, it's your girl T. Make sure to subscribe, like, and share my videos. You can also visit Lovelyti.com to purchase any merchandise. Also, don't forget to click the boxes down below to watch any of my previous videos. Talk to y'all later. Deuces.